Oh, hello again everybody, welcome back, and just some quick apologies for not posting much lately. I've been extremely busy and I actually had a corrupted SD card which lost me 6 videos, so I'm a bit behind on everything, so time to get back to it. And I thought we'd try something different. We have this Deadbolt double locking, as you can see. I'm not sure what make it is. It says CRC on the lock there. It says, as you can see, Camboa on the key and CRC the other side, matching that. So that's obviously the original key. I've got 2 keys. You can see this one's a bit rusty and you can see rust marks on here. So I've given it a little bit of a squirt in there with some lube. And we'll give it a go. Now, a lot of the time the internal locks on these, which this side is, have only a very short lock in there. Like, for example, this union. You can see this is the internal part. Let's just move that a fraction. So this one does the same thing, double locking, as you can see. But hopefully if we look in the back we can see how far through that key is poking, and it's actually only a 2-pin lock on the front here on the internal part, and then the external part would be operated through there, and that would have the full 5-pin lock. But with this one here, luckily enough, we have the outside lock attached. So that one works just the same, if we can see there. So it needs to be unlocked twice to get it unlocked, so that will give us the opportunity to pick both sides of this, see what the differences are. So if I get this in the vise, then hopefully we can pull it apart and see how these things actually work. So let's move this camera a bit, see if I can get this where I can actually get at it and you can see what's going on. Right, let's give that a go. It's a weird angle for me, but we can try. That one seems to fit, so we are all locked up. I don't know if we can actually see the bolt there. So there's the bolt just sticking out. So I haven't got a clue what's in here. The key looks like 5 pins. So we've got to click on 1. Funny sort of click on 2. Nothing really on 3. A half-hearted click on 4. And 5. We got a click and I felt something through the tension wrench. 4. No. Oh yeah, and we're open. So that wasn't particularly difficult, apart from the fact that I've unlocked it, locked it rather than unlocking it. Let's try that again. A habit of picking clockwise. Click on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Another click on 5, 4, 3, click on 2. Actually feeling like it's a bit more tricky picking anti-clockwise. Click on 1, 3, 4, 5. Two, 3, 4, 5. Actually got a little bit of counter rotation out of 5 there, which means it may have a security pin in, or I might have overset it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, and we got it open. So now, if I can swivel this round a touch so we can see the bolt. There we go. So if I turn this and I need to get another pick into the top. There we go. So we're halfway. Let's see if we can swap this round. Drop it in this side. And if we get it there, we can see the bolt again. Let's see if this is any better. So, click on 1, click on 2. So I'm actually going anti-clockwise this time. 3. So it's obviously just the 3 pins in that side, which is better than the union. There we go, and we're unlocked. So let's get this down here and get the camera adjusted. Try and get it down a bit lower. There we go. Let's see if we can actually pull this thing apart and see how it works, and see if we have got anything interesting pin wise. So we've got one screw at the back here which should release the plate. Oh, it releases the whole thing, including the rear lock. So we'll have a look at the insides there in a sec. Let's get this off here. And I'm just looking at this, whether we might be able to, because this is loose on the back. I was looking at it and it looks like it might have been crimped, but I think that's, yeah, the actuator's built in, and there's the lock, which should come out the front. So there we go. So that's just literally a sleeve to hold this section. We have those are tight. My screwdriver bit's too big, but just enough. We'll have a look inside this one, see if there's anything. Oh, you see the muck inside there. Full focus. See if there is actually anything interesting in here or not. So follower, pins are there, and there we go. So let's get this over here, and we have a standard, 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 standard. Coral looks standard, but I'm looking at these. We have got a little bit of a taper on the top. I don't know if we can see that. We do actually have tapered tops to the pins. And tweezers, tweezers, tweezers. And looks like we have a wafer and a standard, all very mucky. Another wafer and a standard in 2. Obviously why it wasn't too difficult to pick. And in 3. And in 4, and in 5, 5 little copper springs. So nothing particularly exciting there apart from the taper on the key pins. So I don't think I'll bother stripping the other half of the lock, but what we can do is have a look, see how these actually work internally. So let's get this lot off to one side and see if we can do this without the whole thing falling apart. So we have the lever on the right hand side here for operating the latch, and we can see the lock at the back there, and effectively it works a little bit like a lever lock, I think, but rather than the key operating it, it's this section of the actuator. I don't know if you can actually see there. We've got 2 lots, which are your 2 turns, and these 2 patches here would actually receive the back of this part. So that lever there is what actuates the lock, and the actuator on the back of that locks into there, and that's what sends that. So what we do is see if we can get this to work. So there we go, you can see the bolt, and there we go, this section here is spring loaded, which, let's just do this, and I presume the other part is when this plate is on, because when you're on the inside you can unlock the bolt on the side, and then you would pull the lever to operate the latch, which you can't do from the outside. So this actuator, when you've actually unlocked the lock, so where are we? So when you actually unlock the lock, you would then turn the key. You imagine the actuator above, which is there, would then come and catch this part, which will then operate the latch. So there we go, quite an interesting little mechanism. So I won't bother gutting the other half because it will just be the same with less pins. But there we go, the CRC or Camboa double locking deadbolt, all done. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.